Hello everyone, this is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne. And I have a video for you tonight titled, She's Gotta Have It, the in-between guy she's having sex with. I got one for you tonight. But before we go any further, always know my videos in the dating space. They're inspired by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life. In addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. But let's get right to it. She's gotta have it. The in-between guy she's having sex with. And the theme of this video is that it's an idiotic proposition to take a woman on a date in order to have sex with her. And we'll talk about that in order. But once again, it's an idiotic proposition to take a woman on a date in order to have sex with her. And what brought this video about is I've been seeing, coming across my share of content lately, and mainly people like Kendra G. Kendra G is a, 40-something-year-old woman. I guess she's never been married, no children. And she originally went on Kevin Samuel's show when he was alive, and he ate her alive. She said she was so exclusive, and, she has access to this like every other woman that called into the show. But essentially, Kevin Samuels passed and she began to do a rendition of his call-in show. And she's been doing it for some years now. And she has quite the following. This is Kendra G right here. But, something very telling is being revealed on her show in real time. She'll ask the women, when was the last time they were in a relationship? And then she'll ask them, when was the last time that they were intimate? And then that's when the truth comes out. Everything that society veils concerning women and their sexual activities and proclivities is revealed in that question. A lot of those women will say they have the option not to answer it because they don't want to, stain themselves in terms of being marketable for dating. Because a lot of these women, they're calling into the show to give out their information so guys can get in contact with them. So they don't want to tarnish this false, pure persona that's going to make them more valuable and dateable. So a lot of women would just say, I'm not going to answer the question. And then a lot of the women say, I had sex yesterday, or I had sex, 3 days ago, or I had sex 2 weeks ago, or I had sex a month or two ago, so, and they're all single. That's why they're calling into the show. So that is revealing that there's an in-between guy that these women are having sex with out here. And there's no point in trying to, measure up to some sort of expectation that a woman has in order for you to be intimate with her and have sex with her. Like, dates are not a requirement for sex, okay? And a lot of these women, they'll go into detail about these guys that are in their life that they're sexually involved with, the in-between guy. They're like, oh, he's an ex-boyfriend, but, we weren't compatible, but we were really sexual compatible. So she just calls him. There's no offerings, no dates. They just have sex. Or, it could be a guy that isn't on the success level that they would want to pair themselves with, but he weasels his way into them panties, and she liked that weasel. You know what I'm saying? So he's the guy that she calls when she needs to scratch that itch. So all of these women have that guy, okay? And so there's no point in you giving an extended offering to a woman and she has a guy that doesn't have to do a damn thing. Another one of the ladies, she said something very telling. And this wasn't on the Kendra G show. She was just talking. It was just more of like just content. And this was a 40-something, pretty low light-skinned thing. And she was saying every 40-something-year-old woman has that guy that can hit that spot. And he's on, he's a regular fixture in her life. And she says, if I'm dating you, don't ask about that guy because you can't measure up to him. And she essentially said that guy ain't going nowhere. And a lot of the times, what these women will do is they'll meet a guy that they like, that they see some long-term potential with. And they will tell the fuck buddy, the in-between guy, like, nah, I kind of met somebody and let's ease off for a second. And they'll see where things can go with that particular guy. And usually it's short-lived. But what happens in those scenarios is that women they'll act as if they have, they're dating with intention. And we all know what dating with intention is, especially if you watch my channel. Dating with intention is I'm holding this pussy hostage until you give me a relationship or a semblance of a relationship because you have more qualities than the men that I'm sexually attracted to that don't have anything going for themselves. That's what dating with intention means, okay? It means I want to manipulate you. I want to give you a facade like I'm not having sex. And while I'm dating you, I'm hopeful. So I'm going to tell my regular guy that either we have to slow this down, or as she really, feels like she's getting close to getting a relationship from you, then that's when she'll call it off with the in-between guy. But the in-between guy isn't tripping because he knows that most of her experiences with other men are short-lived. He plays his position and he accepts his position. So those experiences are short-lived because the she's pushing dating with intention. So she's already manipulating. Okay. And so she's across from a man who does have something going for himself. And he's not quite at one with himself though. He knows that the other guy exists. He knows she's not over there just twiddling her thumbs and sitting on her hands. She's getting fucked whenever she wants to. But he's willing to pay a little bit of a price for some consistent pussy. So he'll tell her, okay, I'll date you with intention, you know? And so what he'll do is he'll wait it out. She's not going to make him wait that long, but she's going to make him wait because she has to paint a picture of she's exclusive and she's worth dating and all this kind of stuff. But she knows that she can't push it too far if the man is attractive and accomplished. So it's just a little dance between the two of them. And then, he gets to have sex with her. And then now it's a regular thing. And if she has a kid, I've been the other guy. These women tell me about these guys. If she has a kid, then, that guy would do a little something for the kid, when she brings him over. And he'll do little stuff for her, take on little dates. Nothing crazy. Just enough to keep a piece of consistent pussy in his life under the guise and veil of maybe this is going to go somewhere. Dating with intention. And then eventually the woman just gets to a point where she realizes that it's not going to go anywhere and that this is just another manipulative play that she started and that he finished. When she finds out that this guy is not going to give her the level of commitment that he said that he was moving towards with her. And so it's two manipulators coming together. And that's why the in-between guy, that's why he's chilling. He has other women and he knows that he's going to get that call from that woman, when she's in between guys. And then he knows that it's going to fall apart because, especially if you're intelligent and you're a thinking man, you already know it's going to be short-lived because she's already manipulating. There's no way that she's telling this new guy that she met about you, the maintenance man, the in-between guy. So she's already manipulating the guy, acting like you don't exist. And then that guy is consequently is going to get in her space and manipulate her. And it's may the best manipulator win at that point. And so the maintenance guy, the in-between guy knows this song and dance, knows this game. And then when she gets horny and, maybe she starts going to church or, maybe she calls herself trying to, do some abstinence or something like that. Eventually she's got to have it. And then you're the man that she calls. And so that's what this is all about. She's got to have it, the in-between guy she's having sex with. And they're all having sex. That's why it's an idiotic proposition to introduce a date to a woman in order to have sex with her. You don't introduce anything to a woman in order to have sex with her. The order is that she sees that you're extremely sexy attractive and she says yay or nay. And that's it. There's no offerings. Because the guy that she's having the he'll do experience with, the in-between experience with, he doesn't measure up to you. If you watch my channel and you're improving yourself and you're a sex symbol man and you're radiating attractiveness from the inside out, meaning you're attracted to yourself, so you're giving your best, you're elevating, you're getting the best in return from life. And then, that internally translates to your exterior because you're giving your best. And so you're giving your best internally and externally. You've grown up, you've increased, internally and externally. So that's a sex symbol man. You're in the most recognizable state that you've ever been. And women recognize that. So that type of man, it doesn't make any sense for him to want to take a woman on a date in order to have sex anyway, because he knows when you become that man, now you begin to become a man who's aware of all sides of women. You become the in-between guy. And you'll have some women that you deal with, and you might have dealt with them for years. When you're attractive and you can hit that spot in that pootie, then you're an in-between guy. Because there's something about that woman. Maybe you all met when you were young and then maybe she had a kid or something like that. One of them fuck niggas got her pregnant or something like that. And then now it's like, and then you two are getting older. I'm going through a scenario with different women I've been in. You're getting older, and now you're getting more successful. You have more appeal as a man, and then you're dating much younger. But this woman, she still needs an in between guy. But she's getting older, and then the interactions with men are getting shorter. And so you're a fixture in her life, on and off, on and off. That's how it goes. And since you know all sides of women as a sex symbol man, it's an idiotic proposition to introduce a date in order to have sex with her. You know that they have a man that they're having sex with. And there's no point in shortening yourself or overextending yourself to get something as a more quality man that she's giving away to a man who's a less quality man than you. It's idiotic. It's very idiotic. And you'll create some enemies moving this way, because you have to be fearless in terms of telling women exactly what you want as soon as you meet them. And that's going to create some enemies along the way from men and women. Because the men, when you become a sex symbol, their number one point of contention, in my experience, and this is a spectrum of men over many years of my life, right? They get mad because of how easy sex comes to me. They call themselves the players and don't nobody got bitches like me type dudes and shit like that. But they can't stand how women just offer themselves to me right in front of their face. And then they have to do such a multiplicity of things in order to get women sexually. Maybe once in a while a woman will offer themselves to the guy, but then you catch them in lies all the time because they're overextending themselves. That's how they get the majority of the sex in their life. They're overextending themselves, and they forget they told you about things. They forget they told you about things that they did in order to get pussy, and then they'll talk about that same woman and act as if they didn't do those things. A sex symbol man can really bring out the pathological liar in an average man who's masquerading as a sex symbol man, because they can't keep their story straight because they don't travel in straight lines. But they see you traveling in straight lines, and it just comes to you. It just comes to you because you're the same man. You're giving the same man to life every day. And life is giving you the same elevated experiences in return every day. So they're seeing women offer themselves to you on a regular basis. And it really rubs them the wrong way. And then they find out they can't have the experiences that you had. They can't lie their way into it. They just can't have them. And then that's where the resentment comes. That's from the man's side. I've lost what I thought would be lifelong friends, in my 20s, and beyond, just because men resented me from how easily that poopy came to me on a regular basis, right? So that's the man's side right there. The women's side is they like their rejection on the back end, okay? So a lot of women know, since they're starting off the formula, the equation with manipulation, they know what the deal is, right? When they're telling men that they're dating with intention, but they do have a in-between guy, which most of them have. And I'll even get to the statistics, right? So they're starting off with manipulation. And they're understanding that they're hoping to manipulate this man into believing that there's something that they're not. That's the only way that they can get a relationship out of this guy. So this guy, he's meeting her manipulation with his own manipulation. But she knows it's going to end. It's a situationship, a dressed up situationship. That's what most of her dating experiences are. But she's okay with it. She likes her rejection on the back end. She likes rejection that she can sell. She likes casual sexual situations that she can sell as dating. And as long as you stay with her long enough or gave her enough menial things, a little attention, a few dinners, maybe a trip, as long as you gave her those things and she eventually find out that you didn't want the long-term relationship, she doesn't care, because she can sell that to her girlfriends and say, oh, we dated. She can sell that to the next man. Oh, the last guy I dated, even though it was a glorified casual situation. That's all it was. That man, she knew that man wasn't there for a relationship, but he gave her enough that she can sell and maintain her relationship value by not acting like she's in situationships and dealing with in-between guys. She just wants to sell some shit until a stupid motherfucker comes along and believes the shit. That's what she's hoping for. So she will go to the ends of the earth to manipulate, because she can't become a man become a woman that a man that represents the fullness of what she's looking for, that's clicking on all cylinders, will see her as an object to be in a relationship with. A recognizable woman of character, a recognizable woman of qualities. She's not that. So she just goes through manipulating. And so she always has an in-between guy. But that's where the straightforward guy is the enemy, because he's telling her, I'm not taking you on dates. And then she sees that you're attractive enough, that you're believable, that this is not a lie, that women are dealing with you in a sexual manner like that. And then she feels defeated because she didn't get to get anything out of you. She doesn't mind having sex with you. But if you're a quality man, then she needs an offering from you so she can sell it as if she dated you. And that's why you're an enemy to her. That's why you're going to end up in, the T apps and the are we dating the same guys and all that kind of stuff, because there was nothing about you that she could sell. There was nothing about you that she could sell. If you manipulate her a little bit, she'll love you. Even though she doesn't get the outcome she wants, she'll love you because it's something she can sell. It maintains her value in the marketplace. But a man that's super attractive and super accomplished, that doesn't give, that basically says, I'm not doing anything in order to have sex with you. I know the men that you're dealing with, they're not as successful as me. I see that you're hiding your baby fathers. You don't even take pictures with them. I see the men that you procreate with. See, an intelligent man and thinking man is a hated man. And that's why you're going to have enemies on both sides, because you developed yourself to have experiences that you know that you don't have to do what society tells you have to do in order to have sex with women. That you don't have to, give the woman the dating with intention, manipulative bullshit experience that she's looking for so she can sell it. Now you're hated because you're a thinking man. Because you understand that 90% of women, especially in our community, the Black community, are going to have children before they leave the earth. 9 out of 10 are going to procreate. 78% of those children are going to be born out of wedlock. So what does that mean in relation to sex? What that means is that casual sex governs women. It governs reproduction. It governs everything. It's casual sex before everything. Even though the ultimate goal is a relationship, in real time, present day, it's casual sex. And she's got to have it. And the evidence that she's got to have it is not my opinion. It's just the facts, data, and statistics. Shout out to the Godfather, Kevin Samuels, who always introduced facts, data, and statistics. But it's just facts, data, and statistics that shows you that 90% of women are going to have a child in our community before they leave the earth, and roughly 80% are born out of wedlock. How did the children get here? Was it the Immaculate Conception that rivals Jesus Christ? Or was it some hard dick attached to a man that she wanted to be involved with, that knew she wasn't going to get a relationship from? I think it's the latter. That's what the evidence says. So you just have to really wake up and understand that most women you meet are going to have an in-between guy. And don't let them sell you anything outside of that. See, this is the thing, right? This is the last thing I'll say. Whatever woman you deal with, you want her to be a thinking woman. You want her to be an intelligent woman, especially if you've accumulated something in your life. If you have things that you've been able to evolve into and to have certain returns come back to you in life. And that looks different for every man. But if you have some shit that you're afraid to lose, if you like the quality of life that you created through the evolution that you've become as a man, then you want to deal with a thinking woman, right? So a thinking woman is going to see a quality, attractive man, and she's going to revisit the experiences that she's immediately had sex with men that are not as attractive as you, that are inferior to you, that do have no recognition of themselves. Broke. She has to give them money. She reluctantly calls them because she wants that orgasm. This is who she's dealing with. She's having kids with men that she's hiding. She's hiding the men. Why? Because if you knew the reality of these men, then that would bring her marketability down. Because she has to manipulate her way into a relationship in a marriage because she hasn't become. So an intelligent woman, this is what she would do. She would see the sex symbol, super accomplished, attractive man who's completely at one with himself, who's been able to effectively lead and guide himself so he can lead and guide her, right? She'll see that man and she won't make him pay a higher price of admission to that poofy than the lesser men that have residue in her life. If she's a thinking woman. Nothing good comes with dealing with a manipulative woman. And you might think, well, all right, I'll play that game with her. I'll work for it a little bit. But you're dealing with a manipulator. And nothing good is going to come from that. And nothing's guaranteed, you know. You might wear that rubber and then boom, it's that one time that joint pops. And so she already got you through manipulation. You agreed to the manipulation and you open yourself to all kinds of dumb shit. That rubber pops. You don't even realize it or something happens. Boom. Now you got 22 years of bullshit. You understand where I'm coming from? So there's no use in, dealing with a low quality woman. And let me get back to how a quality woman would move, right? She would have sex with the quality man as soon as she meets him because she's respecting her own personal evolution as a woman, right? Once upon a time, maybe she would have manipulated, but she's saying, you know what? I'm going to be intelligent now because I can see more because I've evolved and I've grown. And it makes no sense to make this quality man work for something that an inferior man didn't have to. So she's doing her own numbers and she has her own reasoning that aligns with her personal evolution as a woman. And so she won't hide from herself. See, women who date with intention and self-manipulation, they're hiding from themselves. And a intelligent thinking woman is just like, let me present all of myself. So I can get chosen. A woman who's evolved and grown and done some introspection, she's not afraid of herself. She's not hiding. So if she's a quality woman, so she's not even going to entertain a man that she's not sexually attracted to. Because low quality women entertain men that they're not sexually attracted to because there's something that they can extract from that man. While they have an in-between guy. And the in-between guy is so they can hold on until they meet the complete guy. So they'll deal with some incomplete men because they're low quality. And they'll just try to extract things from them. They have a bunch of incomplete men that they're extracting things from that will comprise the whole man that they're incapable of securing. So you want to deal with an intelligent thinking woman. And what that looks like is that she's going to give all of herself. She's not going to make you wait because there's so much residue in her memory of lesser quality men that she didn't make wait. And so she's saying, I'm not going to make this man wait. And then she trusts herself because she's showing up as herself and meaning that, okay, sex, obviously this man is here to have sex. I like having sex. The women, quality women don't lie about wanting to have sex. The statistics do not hide the fact that they like having sex. But the quality woman is not going to try to dance around the statistics and align herself with the sisterhood philosophies and the worldly philosophies that try to keep men under submission to women. No, she's going to expose herself. And she's going to say, okay, I'll have sex with you because she's sexually attracted to you. And she knows she likes having sex. And so, yes, she might want a relationship with you. You may have some incredible qualities, but guess what? She's not hiding from herself. So she's developed her qualities so that she can leverage her qualities. See, a lot of attractive women who are at one with themselves, they're usually in the space of some quality men. Now, maybe they might not have experienced the deepest levels of compatibility, which means that they're not in a relationship, but they're satisfied with the men that they deal with. And they don't deal with these men through manipulation. Everybody's showing up as themselves because they're quality people. And so she doesn't mind taking a sexual, exploration with a quality man as soon as she meets him because she's leveraging her qualities, meaning that this man has to choose me. If she's intelligent, she looks at what sex has gotten her and her sisters, that they haven't gotten them a motherfucking thing. Nothing. Their lives are very low performing, and this is not to take shots at or to belittle any particular demographic right here. This is just reality. And see, the intelligent woman isn't leveraging her pussy because the pussy has gotten them nothing. Children out of wedlock, divorce, an epidemic of non-marriage. And so the quality thinking woman that you want to deal with, even in a sexual manner, is not afraid to offer herself to you sexually, because she's not going to leverage something that has gotten her absolutely nothing in life and her sisters nothing in life. It's unintelligent. So even as a quality man, you want to deal with quality women who aren't hiding from themselves, because that's going to translate to a more quality experience right there. And considering that she's got to have it, you just want to make sure that you develop yourself into the man that she has to have it from. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Just bring you a video talking about she's got to have it, the in-between man that she's having sex with. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. And if you've been impacted by my message, then I want you to make a donation to my PayPal and my Cash App information that's in my video description. I'll never tell you what to donate, but you all know I'm spitting the best game in the game, man. And I want to keep this game coming. So if you've been impacted, if you're better for having encountered my message, and you encounter my message just this one time in this video, your first time, or you've seen me over the years and you're a faithful subscriber, make sure you drop something in my donation information. I never take the donations for granted, and they keep me in position to continue to bring you this elevated game, man. It's really that simple. So yeah, check out, just donate at my Cash App or my PayPal information that's in my video description. Your donations, everyone who's been donating, everybody's just super chatting, my lives and just regular donations, I thank you all very much. You are very appreciated, okay? If you're in need of coaching, then don't forget to email me at matthewchorne.com. Leave coaching in the subject matter of the email. And in the body of the email, you leave your name, your phone number, and whatever issues that you're facing in the dating space. I'll do an assessment. Then I will email you back with the terms of the coaching. Once you accept the terms of the coaching, we'll set up that 1-hour coaching call, okay? And then your life is going to change. You're going to become a man that's incapable of revisiting the frustrating situations that you're facing in the dating space. No more circular movements. No more frustrations. No more disappointments. 1-hour coaching session with me. I'll take you past any situation you're in with any woman. I promise you that. Reach out to me. I'm still looking to fill the remaining slots of the 5 individuals who want to take a year-long coaching journey with me. What that looks like in a year-long coaching journey, you're going to get a minimum of 3 coaching calls per week. I want to do an assessment of exactly where you are and where you want to be in the dating space. I want to create custom curriculum and coaching just for you that begins at right now, exactly where you are right now. And then we're going to progressively coach you to where you want to be. I want to pay attention to where you're elevating and, things you still have to work on. I'm going to create custom, every coaching session I'm going to have my finger on the pulse of your life. It's very personalized. In between the coaching sessions, you'll have 24-hour access to me as well. Any situation you're in with any woman, you can call me, text me, email me, and I'll make myself available to you. And the people who have gotten long-term coaching from me, they understand that, okay? We have our 3 coaching calls a week, and they also can reach out to me. They show me women on that they've met, conversations they've had, and I assess them, tell them the next moves. I'm just yours for a year. It gets no better than that. Very intimate space, okay? That's why I'm only taking on 5 people. Also, I'm going to meet up with everyone in person. If you get my year-long coaching program, then I'm going to meet up with you in person as well. And I'm going to coach you in person at least one time. It's going to be a magical experience, I promise you that. So in order to get the year-long coaching journey with me, I want you to email me at matthewchorne.com. And it does cost money, okay? Everything I'm offering costs money, okay? If you're broke, don't call me. I'm being for real, because I offer too much value to even have an inclination that I'm going to be working for free. Let's be real, okay? Let's be real. So to take the year-long coaching journey, you email me at matthewchorne.com. In the subject matter of the email, you put mentorship. In the body of the email, you put your name, your phone number, and you tell me that exactly where you are in the dating space and where you want to be. Okay, I'll do an assessment. I'm not going to email you. I'm going to call you. We're going to get on the line, and we're going to decide if we're a good fit to work with one another over the course of a year. It's a magical space. Everyone who's gotten long-term coaching from me, immeasurable change, immediate change, drastic change. Okay, sign up. Okay, and my dating coach community on a school platform, okay? I want everyone to sign up for my dating coach community on a school platform, Matthew C. Horne Dating Coach Community. The link to sign up will be in the video description. In my dating coach community, I give exclusive content that is not on YouTube, okay? videos that are not on YouTube. I allow members of the community to give me titles for videos, and I make those videos. And also, I come up with my own titles and materials, based on the needs of the group. And I listen to the group, and I just create custom content for the group. Every Monday night, also 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a live in the community. I go live. Everybody who wants to get on the live in the community gets on with me, and we have magical dialogue. I do a monologue. We talk about the topic that I talked about, and then we move on. And the members of the community can ask me whatever they want to ask me for the duration of an hour. I'm your dating coach for an hour every week. Okay, there's no space like it, man. Then we have different, courses in the community to becoming a sexy, attractive man. We have different, ways that you can get more exclusive access to me in the community. There's all kinds of great things happening there, and the growth of the individuals has been, irrefutable. I've seen a lot of growth, and I'm satisfied with every member of the community. If you're watching, thank you for being a part of my community. On Monday, I want to see everybody there. So join my dating coach community. The link to sign up will be in the video description. And lastly, if you want me to make a custom video, the cost is $150 or more, a $150 more donation. Okay, I hear you all in the comments. You want me to make videos on particular topics. You want me to, answer certain questions in depth. Those are going to take a custom video to do that for you. Okay. And so if you want me to make a custom video, you make a $150 more donation to my PayPal and my Cash App information that's in my video description. And there's a note feature on PayPal and Cash App that appears right before you complete the donation. Put the title of the video that you want me to make in that note, and then complete the donation. I'll see the note. I'll have your video on my channel in 24 hours or less. If your subject matter is more nuanced and detailed, just leave a note on PayPal and Cash App. Then I want you to still make your $150 more donation, complete it, bypass the note feature, and then email me at matt@matthewchorne.com with your more nuanced and detailed in-depth description of what you want me to make your video on. And I'll have your video on my channel in 24 hours or less. But that's essentially it. I really appreciate you all spending some time with me. And always know she's got to have it, and she is definitely getting it. The statistics are there. Women are telling on themselves in real time on shows like Kendra G. She's getting it. She's going to have an itch that needs to be scratched. Just make sure that you're that man that she's not trying to make jump through a million hoops. And make sure that you're aware of that man in her life, because that man exists, or else the statistics are going to be the way that they are. 80% of children born out of wedlock. Let's be fucking for real, man. They're out here fucking. And so you need to be a man that can recognize when a woman is extremely sexually attracted to you, and not to deal with any other woman outside of that spectrum and frame, because she's getting it from somewhere. And don't be the man that she makes jump through a million fucking hoops in order to get it. I see you also.